is an option.
Okay, who's gonna adopt the kids? What is the percentage of adoption? What is the adoption rate in America? Please tell me. Of how many kids?
I'm not sure, but if you want to give your child up for adoption, it is a complete possibility.
Yeah,
it is possible.
What is the rate of children getting adopted in America?
I'm not sure.
You should know that. If you were to come up here and say all this shit, you need to know all. Not only how expensive it is, all the logistics. Just because you are a child and you're living in a home and you get blah blah and your parents don't want you, doesn't mean you're gonna live a good life. This is why we have people in America who are fucking shitty.
Would you let a same-sex couple adopt this child?
I don't think
then
same-sex.
Get the fuck out of here.
No,
get the fuck out of here. What? Get the fuck out of here.
Like, so if I have a baby and I adopt a child and I have a baby with my partner who is a woman, and I don't abort my child, so you're saying that I can't have that? Like, that's not okay?
I'm saying mothers should take care of their children.
Yeah, no.
If you have a baby, you should take care of that child.
Okay,
then what if the mother literally cannot take care of the child?
They do not have the means.
Then she should ask for help, and people can help her. It's not that complicated.
Are you supporting that help through the legislature, through making it easier to adopt a child, through birth control? Like, do you want to reduce abortions?
Birth control murders children.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I'm just like saying,
it does. It prevents implantation.
Yes! It prevents implantation, which means there's no child.
No, there's a new human being created. That new human being travels down the fallopian tube and needs to implant in the uterus, but they can't.
Okay, that's
and then
not
they
how
die.
It works. Okay, that's not how it works.
Yep, it is.
So you got your egg over here, your sperm over here. You're saying egg, sperm. They need to connect, right?
Yep.
To make a child.
Yep.
So you're saying that birth control prevents the sperm from meeting the egg, right?
Yeah, the birth control can do that, but it also thins the lining of the uterus so that after the new human being has been created through the egg and the sperm.
Hey, all you ladies, can you explain what birth control does to this man?
No, I'm explaining it to you. I'm explaining it to you.
Some of them make it so the uterine lining cannot be implanted. Some of them
that's
prevent
murder.
the egg from ever being implanted, though. In which case, can we be pro that?
I'm saying if you prevent somebody from living where they need to live, you're murdering them.
What if we keep it so the egg cannot be implanted by the sperm? Therefore, there's never any life formed. Right.
I'm saying, I'm not saying that's murder. I'm saying it's murder when
birth control then.
But you can't be against birth control if it's not making a baby.
I don't.
Pro birth control, everyone. This guy just said it. We've converted him. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. This guy is not pro.
Thank you, Jesus, for real.
Well, the thing is, all forms of hormonal birth control have the ability to prevent implantation.
So do you have a
partner? all the hormonal birth control murders children.
What do you think implantation means? When you say that, what do you mean exactly?
Implantation, I'm saying when the new embryo, the new human being, when that attaches to the uterine wall, that's implantation. And so they need to live there, and when you keep them from doing that, they die, and you murder them. So
you would be pro birth control if it was prior to implantation?
Well, personally, I don't believe that birth control is honoring to God. He said, "Be fruitful and multiply," and I don't believe that cutting off children is in His will. I don't have any children.
Do you have a partner?
No.
Why not?
So you're not being fruitful for your God.
Yeah. So like, are you really living in the life that God wants you to live in? I feel like you're so hypocritical in the way that you're living your life.
Well, actually,
you want to say that we are meant to be on this earth to create children and be fruitful and do all these things.
I'm saying if you're married, that's God's will for you. I'm saying if you're in a marriage relationship, I'm not saying everybody has to get married and do that, but I'm saying if you're married and you're having sex, then that's God's will for you.
Why are you speaking on people in a thing that you're not a part of? You're not married.
No.
So why are you speaking for people who are married?
Because married people are murdering their children, and unmarried people are murdering their children.
Because you are not married and you don't have that life.
No, I can speak out against murder, ma'am. I can speak out against any type of murder. I don't have to be in that situation to speak out against murder.
You don't understand it because you're not a woman. You don't understand this. It's a picture, yes.
Yes, that's a human being who's murdered, and I can speak out for that child, even if I'm not a woman.
All I have to say is, if you are willing to take all of these adopted children or all these children who don't get aborted, if you're willing to take that responsibility to do it, then you can say something. If you are not willing, and I know you're not, because clearly you don't have any children, then you have no right to tell anybody what to do.
No, I can speak out against mass murder at any time. When people are getting mass murdered, I need to cry out for justice. I don't have to. I don't have to.
For the children being murdered by cops?
Yeah. Are you crying out for?
Where's your support?
Are you crying out for all of the minorities?
Well, how is that even relevant right now?
It's so relevant.
What makes this murder worse than every other murder?
Well, this is happening thousands of times every day in this nation.
So are black people being killed by cops.
You know it's happening without any federal money, right?
What?
What do you mean it's not true?
What are you saying? What's happening?
Like, honestly, give me real statistics. If you give me real statistics, then I'm willing to listen.
About what? Abortion?
Yeah, give me real statistics.
Well, in surgical centers where they do abortion, there's around 3,500 murdered every day.
Okay, where is that from? Where is that fact from?
It's a commonly known fact. You can find it. You can find it online if you want.
Give me the exact site.
I don't have the exact site. You can look it up and find it. You'll find it. You know, but it's not that hard to find.
If you're gonna say all this shit, you need to be specific, and you need to tell me exactly where your source is and what studies show that what you're saying is right. I listen to science.
Why is that?
Because science is fact.
What do you mean? What?
Well, I'm saying if you deny the existence of God, how can you trust that science is true?
Science is true because it's a known. Science is things. Do you know the premises of science? What is the premises of science? You have a hypothesis, and then you have a thesis. You have all these things, and then you prove your hypothesis, and then you come up with a theory. And your theory is done through science and experimentation and having people for that thing.
And you
have all these things.
You have to assume that your senses are reliable and they're giving you the correct perception of reality in order to use science. Well, I'm saying you're trusting that your senses are valid. Do you believe that you evolved? Do you believe that you evolved, ma'am?
Truth or a feeling?
Do you believe in evolution? Do you believe in evolution?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you evolved out of stardust, how can you trust that the chemical reactions in your brain are actually giving you the correct perception of reality? How can you trust that your consciousness is actually giving you the correct perception of reality if your consciousness is the result of random chemical reactions, you know? How can you know anything in that worldview?
Public art, not public intimidation!
How can you use science in that worldview? How do you know? How can you, like, if your basic presupposition is that matter moves around and then that comes together to like produce a consciousness and that's what you perceive of the world, there could be billions of different consciousnesses created by all different kinds of chemical reactions fizzing around in different parts of the universe, you know? How do you know? How do you know?
Talking about within your brain, that's all science.
No, I'm saying you need right, I'm not wrong. So how do we know anything?
Well, like the fact that you said all that, it's been discovered by science that tells you your chemical reactions in your brain do blah blah blah.
No, I'm saying we don't. No, I'm saying we can't. I'm saying we don't even know if a material world exists. You know, we don't even know that we exist.
So why does this matter then?
I'm saying I'm saying in an atheistic worldview that denies God, you don't know that. But if I put my faith not in myself and my senses, if I put my faith in what God has said in the Bible, that He created us with brains and souls to be productive on the earth, we can make sense of reality in that worldview. I'm talking in terms of worldview. In your worldview, we can't know anything. I'm saying in the biblical worldview where God created us, we can have a basis for knowledge so that we can do science. And we can trust our senses, you know? Because God created our senses.
If God created us.
You again.
Yeah, fuck. If God created us, He created us in the way that He wanted to create us, right?
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely.
Right.
So if God created us, why would He give us the free will to have abortions? If He created us, He created you the exact way that He wanted you to be. He created me the exact way He wanted me to be.
Yep.
Why would He have this be a thing?
Well, God created the world. He has a plan for all of history. A part of that plan was people rebelling against Him and being cursed by sin and being separated from Him. And then everybody from then on, since the first humans, they were in rebellion against God. And people, because they're in rebellion against God, they murder their own children. They do evil things because they don't love God. They love themselves. They worship themselves. If we all started to love God, this wouldn't happen, you know?
No, but like God
that's why I got to tell people about Jesus.
Love thy neighbor.
Yes.
Love thy neighbor no matter what. Honestly, love thy neighbor no matter
yes,
what.
love your neighbor.
So, love thy neighbor. So if I'm doing something, like honestly, what is sin? Anything that we do realistically in the world is sin.
We're full of sin. Like we do a lot of evil things.
Sin, like you are here, you're creating sin because you are protesting something that somebody else has loved because you're not loving your neighbor for what they do.
No, I'm saying I'm loving these neighbors. I'm loving these neighbors. I'm speaking up for them.
But
because they're being murdered, you know, and I have to say, if you're going to murder your child, please don't murder your child.
Like talking to a brick wall.
I'm beating a dead horse. Like,
no, man, you need to turn to Jesus Christ so that you can, so you don't go to hell.
I'm not. I don't care. Like,
dude, hell's gonna be lit.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're gonna be burning on fire.
All this is not new. I grew up in a religious house. My parents are religious. They still go to church every fucking. They go to church on Saturdays actually. Like, this is like not a thing that I am okay with. I just.
You're not okay with abortion?
I'm okay with abortion because.
Do you know how you stop abortions? Birth control.
No, I just explained to you.
You want to stop abortions? Give everyone birth control. If you want there to be no abortions, free birth control.
You know that a lot of abortion happens because people are fornicating.
No, but listen.
And you know that fornication is a sin against God.
Maybe you should teach men. Teach men to not rape women. Maybe
Right. That's true. We should speak out against rape. I preach on the streets I preach against pornography. I preach against men who use women like sex objects.
I mean, it's just
men need to stop treating women like sex objects.
What do you tell that man who put that baby in that woman's body?
Let's get a different sign. Stand outside a union at 1 a.m. That might be a better way.
This is revealing a Holocaust.
You have to start at the point of teaching men not to treat women like fucking objects.
We should teach them that. That's true. That's very true.
That's where you need to start.
But in your worldview, you don't have a basis for morality. So everything you're saying that, like, how do you?
How do you know that I don't have a basis for morality?
Hey, man, please don't steal my sign.
Morality?
Sir, please stop attacking me.
Call the cops.
Yeah, Sir, don't do that. Don't do something you're gonna regret.
I'm not gonna regret it. So,
why are you so angry?
Like I've never been to fucking jail.
Why are you so angry?
Do I look angry?
What happened to you? Yeah. What happened to you?
What happened to me? God's changed my life. The Holy Spirit has filled me, and so I speak up for kids who don't have a voice. And I speak up for the voiceless.
Because I'm a teacher and I teach children every single day. I speak up for kids who don't have a voice. You walk on the street, you don't see children every single day. I do.
Yes.
I work Monday through Friday in a classroom with 4th grade children. I speak up for children. You don't.
Okay, and I'm saying in your worldview, if we're all just matter in motion that evolved, why is it wrong to rape people or murder people? You're just rearranging chemical reactions, right? Why is it wrong?
It's all science, though. Like, that's the way that God created the world. Things happen. People are going to be bad. You can't.
So you're saying God, so you believe that God created the world now? I thought you believed in evolution.
And I told you I have a religious background. I'm not sick. I can believe in God and not think that that's okay.
So you do believe in God?
I believe in God, absolutely. But I don't believe like the worldview that you're putting God in. It's completely warped. Like, it's completely 100% different from your.
Well, what God are you believing in? Where do you get your understanding of God? The Bible is how we know about God.
I was born in a Baptist Christian is my background.
Okay, and so God says that He hates the hands that shed innocent blood, and this is innocent blood that's being shed. So you should hate what God hates. It is the unjust killing of an innocent human being. Like, that's murder.
But like, that's why there are laws.
Why aren't you more concerned about what's happening in Syria and Libya right now than this?
This is happening all around us. There are people on birth control all around us murdering their children. There are killing centers all over the nation murdering children.
Are you fighting for the children who are not in America?
No, I'm not.
Why not?
Oh, God.
Right now.
Why not? If you want to fight for children, you fight for all of them.
My priority is where I'm living right now, ma'am. I'm living in the midst of a Holocaust.
For children, only in America, if you're going to fight for abortion, you fight for every single abortion in the entire world. That is contradictory to your God saying that I'm going to believe and do all these things, but you only believe in American children. That's bullshit.
I only have so much time in the day, and I'm gonna focus my time on the people around me.
Diversity,
who need help,
inclusion, and equity are a thing.
Like
if you want to talk about being this kind of person that you are, that embodies a wonderful person and talks about equality and all these things, abortion and fighting for rights, you have to fight for every single goddamn fucking embryo that exists. You don't get to discriminate for what's outside of America. You have to fight for everybody. You can't just choose and pick what you want to fight for.
Well, I mean, if I speak out for human rights in the womb here,
no, human rights everywhere.
I can't travel around the world all the time, ma'am.
Travel around the world. No, I don't travel around the world, but I have
you only
children
care
from
about
around
American
the world.
embryos.
Right, like I don't travel around the world, but I have children from around the world in my classroom. I have children from Muslim nations. I have children from Africa. I have children from Chicago.
There are people from all around the world in this country, and I'm reaching them.
No,
I am. I'm out on the streets all the time reaching people.
This shit, you can't keep it in America. You have to fucking take it to the big world, because this is bullshit. If you want to fucking preach that you are a man of God and that you love everything, you have to preach for every single fucking embryo in a woman's body in the entire world. You don't get to discriminate on that bullshit. And that's true, and you know that's true. That's why you're not arguing about it, because you know it's true.
Well, no, actually, I can't be in all places at all times.
I'm asking you to be in all
and
places
I'm living in the United States, and it's my responsibility to take care of children in the United States.
You only care about embryos in America.
You're not taking care of children in the United States because you don't have any. You're not adopted, and you're not taking care of children. You're just holding up a poster.
Why aren't you volunteering at a shelter right now?
Why are you not at a shelter? Why are you not at the kids' home? Why are you not at
This is the highest priority. The highest priority for me is the people who are being murdered in my community, in the area where I live. And if they're constantly being mass murdered, that's what I'm going to focus on.
Give me an example of a time that you went to a shelter or somewhere and you helped a woman and you convinced her of not having an abortion. Give me a situation, please.
Well, I've been a part of turning women away from murdering their children at the murder mills where they murder children.
Okay, so
and people have a couple women have turned away from murdering their children because I was outside with an image like this.
No, they turned away because you're a piece of shit.
No, no, actually one of them came up and gave me a big hug and told me that I helped her save her baby.
Tell me about how you support